Deku needs to actually chill. The man his arms are gone and he's still jumping about like he's okay. Like, freaking hell, Deku is an absolute beast. But what really got me hyped was, of course, that last spread page when you see my boy Tokiyami. He's there and he's just like tensing up and he looks like he's in pain. That's what I'm so hyped for. We're gonna see my boy Tokiyami back chilling in the darkness, and I'm so excited to see that. Because when Tokiyami's at night, he's like 70% more stronger. He's 70% handicapped. So in the daytime, he's only at 30% strength, whereas at night, boom, he's 100%, and he is ferocious. And you just see his face. He looks like he's in a turmoil, like he can't control his quirk. And I'm just like, this is gonna be so hype in the next couple of chapters. So this is what I really liked how this chapter actually ended, because we're going to get all these fights that we're seeing with the students and that. So this arc is absolutely going to be amazing. Just battles and that. And it's just going to be nasty, because at the end, like, Eraser, he was just like, I'll take full responsibility. And he's just like, fight for your lives. He's like, try and stay alive, my saplings. And I'm just like, for goodness sake. This is so sick, honestly. Eraserhead is an absolute beast. I love him, because the way I'm glad that he wasn't out for the count. When Dabby first took him out, that was hype, because he was just like, Brad, like shouting out, Brad, and then he just comes in and he just dodges it. He dodges it and then he knees him in the face, like he's got no chill. And it's just like, man, I can't wait till next chapter. This chapter delivered. Every chapter of Boku no Hero actually does deliver, and we actually kind of found the reasoning behind like why Bakugo is why they're targeting Bakugo, that's because he's oppressed. That's what the Villain Alliance think. They feel like he's being oppressed by like shackles and that, and they're probably gonna, if they wanted to capture him, they'd capture him and say like, join our side or you'll be free, you can do whatever you want, and like something like that. And I kind of like how we at least got to see Shigaraki's motives, his thoughts and that, because it's great, because when he had that chapter to himself and he was talking to Deku's well, he was just like, why is Stain getting recognized? Yeah, I done the same thing and I'm not. And so he's realizing that he has to have a creed, and he realized that every single thing he does, it has to be to try and take down All Might. So he's actually thinking strategically, and he said it himself. He was just like, oh, I used to be playing it like an RPG and he'd be playing it like a Sims game. So I'm kind of hyped. And the thing is, his words were awesome, because he was just like, I want them to succeed. So it's not like simple villainy, just like childish kind of evil. No, it's quite sophisticated and quite complicated, to be fair. So I really want to know more behind Shigaraki's motives. And yeah, he's coming out. Obviously, they're coming to try and take Bakugo. And that's why Deki's coming in. Deki's running. I think it's sick, because Deki comes in and then he just kicks out Spinner's sword. Spinner's sword just goes. And I'm sure there's different levels of strength between the villains, because they're not all as strong as the Warhorse Killer guy, because Deku had to face a tough guy. Like, for example, Dabby was just like, oh yeah, that guy, no wonder he's a professional hero. He got beaten easily, because Eraserhead did take him out easily. If Eraserhead wanted to, he could probably kill Dabby. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But we actually find out another villain, and his quirk is cloning. So we saw him in the color page last chapter, and ever since then I was just hyped to see him. So his quirk is pretty much cloning. He can clone anyone, and those clones, they can still use the quirks of the original copy. So that is awesome to see. I'm kind of wondering, I'm getting the kind of vibe like if you try and take him out, like I'm wondering if he's got any defensive abilities of himself, like if he can fight to defend himself. Because with like Eraserhead, his quirk is you just look at it and it vanishes. But he is a freaking martial artist. He's a beast. Like even if he can't erase your quirk, he can still counteract you and still kind of take you out. So I'm wondering, I'm kind of interested to see what hero this villain's gonna fight. And we saw it at the end. So basically, we all know about the regulations of the superhero society, and that you can't really just fight someone, even if they're a villain, if you're not like, if you haven't been certified, kind of thing. And that's what was actually happening in this chapter. Eraserhead was just like, to Deku, you do know that the consequences of this, that you're not allowed to be inflicting harm upon anyone else, even if there are a villain. If you're not certified, you can't be using your quirk around like that. But that kind of shows you what true of a hero Deku actually is, because he's coming in, he doesn't care about the rules, he's just going in to save someone, and that's awesome to see. I like how Deku done it as well, because Deku done all of this, and this is how Kota's actually going to believe in the superhero society again. This is how Kota's going to believe in Deku, because Deku's just like, we need you to save all of us because of Kota's quirk. Kota's quirk is going to be able to extinguish out the flames. That I'm so hyped to see that happen. So, all in all, this chapter was amazing. I'm excited to see what's happening next with Tokiyami. I'm really excited to see, I believe it's Suyu and Irarika, because they're going to be fighting that girl, that psychopath girl. So I'm excited to see that. I'm interested to see the Class B characters as well. What's Tetsuzetsu, and I believe her name's Kendo, or something like that. I'm interested to see them fight as well. So it's not just going to be Class A, it's also Class A and Class B. So that's good. More characters, more fights, more team-ups. I'm excited. So tell me your thoughts comment below. Shinigami-sama, I'll see you next week for Boku no Hero Chapter 78. And this chapter of awesome greatness. Goodbye.